Hi students, this is Professor Harsha Jadhav and I'm going to deal with the subject Highway Engineering 18 CV 56 under the module number 1 and lecture number 3. So far we discussed about introduction to highway engineering, different types of transportation, advantages and disadvantage of various transportations, comparison of one transportation with the other type of transportation, like that we have discussed in the last class. And in today's class we'll focus on the characteristics of road transportation. So in these characteristics of road transportation, we'll focus on the importance of the highway transportation, that is road transportation. So under that category, that is characteristics of road transportation, it is accepted that the fact road transportation is the nearest to the people. Nearest means it is accessible. If you can go out from your residence or from your dwelling unit, you can easily see road surface, but you can't see railway tracks, runways, and harbors. But easily one can see road surfaces on which vehicles will travel daily. So on this only highway, that is one of the land transportation possibilities there. So under this characteristics of road transportation, first important characteristics is roads are used by various types of road vehicles like passengers, goods vehicles and pedestrians. See here, by this first information we can easily get that, see this road, whatever is their road surface, this is always operated by mixed traffic. Mixed traffic means whatever the modes are there or manufactured, all the modes will be moving on the surface of the road itself. No particular modes will be restricted on the surface of the road for the transportation purpose. So it will accommodate all the type of, that is motorized and not motorized type of transportation. Even pedestrians can cross the roads and they can walk beside the roads. So only here the mixed traffic plausibility is there, and flexibility as per your convenience. Whatever the vehicles are there, you can go with the that particular vehicle to reach the destination. Next comes road transportation. Transport infrastructure requires lowest initial investment. This means the low investment for the construction of road is low, even the initial investment and even the overall investment. And as per even the maintenance is concerned, even the maintenance of highway is far cheaper than that to maintenance of railway tracks and runways. So only whatever the vehicles we are going to operate, mixed traffic is happening or it will happen, and because of this flexibility will be there for all the classes and cadres of the peoples to opt the vehicles. Next one, investment is cheaper compared to other type of transportation. Third one, roads offer complete freedom, flexibility, that only I told in the last class. Whenever the vehicle is operating, so one the operator or the vehicle owner, the driver is having maximum freedom to operate the vehicle. Okay, he can take a u-turn and he can go back to his origin place of journey if any work is there. Okay, so but this type of flexibility of or the freedom will not be there in any other type of transportation. Next one is, it is possible to travel directly from respective place of origin to the destination by road vehicles. So origin to destination without any accessibility or any other type of transportation, only you can go by the roads with your vehicles. So this is possible only in road transportation, because in order to reach aerodromes, railway station or harbors, one should go through the road itself. Okay, so only transportation which starts ends with the road facilities. Next one, speed of movement is directly related with the severity of accidents. As the speed increases without safety, then it leads to accident. So that this is the biggest problem. As the freedom or the flexibility is more, few of the peoples what they'll do, they'll go for higher speed. So this higher speed tends to accidents. So only there should be a controlled speed and a safe journey throughout the length of the or span of the journey time. These are the important characteristics of road transportation. And one more important characteristic is there, that is, it is the only type of transportation which can give door to door service. The only type of transportation which give door to door service is road transportation only. This is not possible in any other type of transportation. So friends, these are few of the important characteristics of road transportation. Next, we'll focus on JICAR committee recommendations and implementations. So far, we have uh, we have got the information about the introduction to highway engineering, comparison, its role, its characteristics, etc., etc., etc. Now we'll focus on the JICAR committee recommendation. See, this JICAR committee recommendations are certain rules and regulations which are set by Mr. M.R. Jaikar in the year 1927. Okay, so according to this Jaikar committee, few of the regulations are given which should be obeyed by all the authorities concerned to the infrastructure development of India. So these rules and regulations are given to manage a single rule and a single act. Okay, so according to this JICAR committee recommendation, first one is the road development in the country should be considered as the national interest, as it is beyond the capacity of provisional governments and local bodies. This means wherever we are going to construct the road, this approval of the road is done by national interest, by the central government itself. Wherever, if you want to construct the road, all the resolutions, all the clearance, and whatever it is there, sanction of the this project, everything will be given by national interest, means government body, as it is beyond the capacity of provisional government and local bodies. Local authority will not be responsible for the sanctioning of this road projects. So with the help of this, what happens, so we can plan properly where the road is required. Across that area only we can construct the road. Simply increasing the density of the road is controlled here. Okay, next one, an extra tax should be levied on the petrol from the road users to develop a road development fund called Central Road Fund. See here in the first one, first one, based upon the needs we are constructing the road, even with the availability of the land. But in order to construct the road, there should be some amount, that should be some reserved amount. So this amount, a part of this amount is collected by petrol, which is in the form of tax and also known as Central Road Fund. Okay, third one, see here, we got the amount, we are collecting the amount, we have sanctioned based upon the availability of the land, we are planning or we are giving the proposal. Next thing is, we need to check the technical aspects. Some codes should be there, some standard specification should be there. So these all will be given by some authorities or some board. So that comes under third concept, that is, a semi-official technical body should be formed to pull technical know-how from various parts of the country and to act as an advisory body on a various aspects of roads. Means whenever we are constructing the roads, some standard specification should be there. What should be the width of the road, what should be the thickness of the road, what should be the standard angle given during the curve, what should be the standard radius, what should be the material qualities. These all will be given by a semi-official technical body. So that is under third category. Fourth one is, see here, we are going to we are going to use the materials for the construction of road. So this material we won't take as per our wish. So that material should possess all the engineering properties. So in order to check the properties of the material, a central laboratory is made to set at New Delhi, that is called as CRRI. That is, a research organization should be instituted to carry out research and development work pertaining to the roads and to be available for consultations. Means quality of the materials are checked at the central laboratory under this fourth category. So friends, these are the four important recommendations made by the JICAR. The first one is about the planning or sanctioning of the road. Second one is how to collect the amount. Third one is to pull out the technical advisory committee. Fourth one is to check the material quality. Next is implementation. So in this category, that is in this concept, implementation, see whatever the recommendations are given, these all recommendations should be implemented now. Means it should come into act. People should obey it, or the peoples, those who are in charge of construction, they should obey it. So that is called as implementation. Under the first implementation, that is Central Road Fund 1929. So we need to collect the amount. How we need to collect the amount? So that is fixed here. So under this Central Research Fund, CRF, established in the year 1929, the consumers of the petrol were charged a tax of 2.64 paisa per liter. Okay, 2.64 paisa per liter is collected, extra amount is collected as a tax. It is for a liter, per liter it is. And this 2.64 amount is collected and it is made as a central reserve. Out of this total amount, 20% of the amount is taken for meeting purposes, or for that is from the fund collected, 20% of the annual revenue is to be retained as the meeting expenses on the administration of the road fund. This is for administration purpose. The balance 80% of the fund to be allotted by central government to the various states based upon the petrol consumption. See here, out of the total central reserve, 20% is used for meetings and administration work. 80% of the whatever the amount is collected from the central government through all the states, that amount is now given to the respective states based upon the project sanctioned and based upon the petrol consumption. Okay, so wherever the consumption of petrol is there, across that state the vehicle traffic is more. So based upon that, if traffic is more, we need to construct the more length of road, so only extra sanction will be given. So this is a concept. Next one, Indian Road Congress. As I have told you in the third point, semi-official technical body must be organized. The third point, under JICAR committee recommendations, established in the year 1934. According to this, it was constituted to provide a forum of regular technical pooling experience and ideas on all the matters affecting the planning, consultation and maintenance of the road in India. IRC has played an important role in the formulation of 20-year road development plan. Okay, under the 20-year road development plan, all the formulation were made by Indian Road Congress, IRC. Now it has become an active body of national importance, controlling the specification, guidelines and other special publications on various aspects of highway engineering. So this IRC, so it will set some specification, guidelines, and it will publish papers, journals concerned to the road construction and highway concepts. So the last one is Central Road Research Institute. That only fourth point, a central laboratory should be made to set at New Delhi, which is called as CRRI, Central Road Research Institute, to check the quality of the material. This laboratory is made to set at New Delhi. and established in the year 1950. It is one of the national laboratory of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. In this laboratory, all the materials are tested. After testing, and the values of all the materials are checked. If it lies in the well within the permissible limit, then only those materials are accepted and made used for the construction work. So these are few of the implementations made by the JICAR. First, JICAR has given some recommendations. After giving the recommendations, what he has done? He has implemented all the recommendation in terms of some acts. Okay, so friends, this is about today's class, and in today's class, the concept whatever we learned, that falls under CO1, and Bloom taxonomy level is under level 1 and 2. Means we remembered the concept and we understood the concept. It is already applied, but as per our consideration, as per our class, we remembered the JICAR committees and implementation, and we understood the concept. We not done anything new here. Okay, so only this is about Bloom taxonomy level. So friends, again I'll brief it out. In today's class, we discussed about characteristics of road transportation. Okay, about 6 to 8 characteristics we have studied. Under that, the one I'll explain, that is road character. Under the road characteristics, it is the only type of transportation which can give door-to-door service. After that, we discussed about JICAR committee recommendations, that is construction or sanction of the road is done under national interest, as this is beyond the capacity of provisional government and local bodies. An extra tax is collected from the petrol, and which is reserved as a central road fund. And in order to look after the technical specification and guidelines, a semi-official technical body is formed to pool and know the technical aspects. Last one, a research organization is made to set at New Delhi, which will look after the testing of materials which are used for the construction of the roads. And after the recommendation, the these recommendations are implemented in the form of Central Road Fund in 1929, Indian Road Congress in 1934, and Central Road Research Institute in 1950. And at last, we discussed about CO1 and BLT levels, that is Bloom taxonomy levels. Okay, so friends, in the next class, we'll focus on the other concept. Thank you.